Okay, so Sam, thank you for the introduction. Great to be here. I wanted to talk a little bit today about our latest innovations. So I still remember vividly last year, I had just recently started in a new job, and I had the pleasure to announce a new product, which was basically the autopilot extension for our survey app. And yeah, that was a very exciting moment. And today I thought I want to top it. So I wanted to talk about our product development and also talk about two new products. And I'm also fully aware that I'm also digging a hole for myself, because next year it's going to be much more tough to top it again. But let's worry about that next year then. So I wanted to start by talking a little bit about the life cycle of a Wi-Fi network. So this is how we basically conceptualize and categorize the work that is being done for Wi-Fi networks. So this hasn't always been the case. I mean, not too long ago, building a Wi-Fi network used to be a more of an on-off or one-off process, where you just go ahead and design a network and you plug it in, and then you leave, and that's it. But that's not really the case anymore, especially in the larger networks and in enterprise networks. It's more of a continuous cycle of work. So it typically starts from collecting the requirements and creating a design based on that, and this design then gets deployed, and the deployment is validated that it works as it should. And
Anssi,
then yes.
Sorry, other webcam.
The other webcam. Okay,
other
thanks
webcam.
for
Apologies.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, so this the change in conditions. So basically the environment changes or RF changes are then being managed by continuous optimization process. And whenever there's something wrong with the network, then obviously troubleshooting is being done and fixes are being deployed. And this is really a continuous cycle, and then eventually it leads to, when new technology is available, it leads to a redesign and redeployment of a new technology. And we at Ekahau, we support all of the stages of this process. So we have, for example, the Pro desktop software for designing and planning the networks. We have Sidekick for accurate measurements. We have a survey app, which is used for validation, but also optimization and troubleshooting. And then we have an analyzer app, which is again for optimization and troubleshooting. And all of these products work together, so they are connected via the cloud backend. They share the same data, and they also enable effective collaboration. So this is how we are also, this is what we use also as a guideline for our design of new products and innovation. So today I wanted to talk about a couple of new things. So first of all, an extension to our offering. So in one of the areas, and then the second point was, how do we add intelligence into the entire cycle? Okay. So first, let's talk about the product extension or the new product. So you may remember, some of you may remember that earlier this year we announced a new version of Analyzer, or the first version of the Analyzer app. And this is really the application which is designed for troubleshooting. The theme back then, if you remember, was Ghostbusters. So here you can see a brave Wi-Fi engineer changing interference with the Analyzer app, and that was the theme back then. So those of you who don't remember what Analyzer, or don't know what Analyzer is, it's basically an iPhone, iPad application that we announced for testing basically the conditions and the quality of your network against the original requirements, or against the requirements. So it's basically running a constant auto test and on several different areas. And based on the auto test and the provided requirements, it gives you clear indications like red and green colors, whether the, for example, signal strength, signal to noise ratio, the channel quality or connectivity are as they are expected to be. And this was available for iPhone and iPad at the beginning. And now I'm actually very happy to talk that we are not officially launched, but since we are among friends here, to announce that we are now extending this offering to Android devices. So we know that most of the users, most of you are also using Android phones. I think that Androids are they have about 75% or 80% market share today. So this is a requirement we've been constantly getting from our users, that why only iPhone and iPad. And now we are actually answering that demand and that requirement, and we have started the beta testing program for the Android app. So it's basically the same version. It has the full feature parity with the existing iPhone app. So it looks the same, and it has the same functionality, but actually in some cases it's even a bit faster than the iOS applications, which was a bit surprise to us, but this is how it seems to be working, especially on the high-end Android devices. So you can do same type of functionality. It really works on the device. You connect it to your Sidekick. It provides you the clear pass and fail indicators, and then basically you can do the troubleshooting on every location, since it's fully mobile. To give you a bit more details on how it actually looks, here are some of the screens that it contains. So first of all, and probably the most important, is the signal strength analysis you can use to instantly check the coverage of your network. But you can also use the same functionality to identify and locate any unauthorized access points in your network. We have also signal to noise ratio analysis, fully automated. So it basically analyzes how different clients and applications are performing. You can do channel quality analysis, which is our implementation of automatically analyzing how different channels are being loaded or overutilized in the network. It helps you really to find configuration errors and noise and interference sources. We do connectivity analysis, so you can basically use it to ping to see the reactiveness of your network, but you can also use this to test the roaming behavior between the access points. And I would say one of the most important features in the whole device is the spectrum measurement. So you can see on your phone, you can see a high resolution, high-speed spectrum analysis, and with the Android phone, it actually looks very, very good. So then one of the questions, since there are so many Android devices out there, one of the questions we are getting quite often is that why not to use the Android device itself for measuring the Wi-Fi quality? Because there are already there are some applications out there that do it already. So you can download them from the Play Store, and you use the device's antenna to test the quality of the Wi-Fi network. But we are highly discouraging it, and let me explain you why. So I have here 3 examples of site surveys and heat maps from site surveys performed with 3 different devices. So the first heat map is here. This is a signal strength heat map, and let's call the device here device number 1. And as you can see, the quality of the network is the strength of the signal is acceptable or good in most of the locations. So those would be the green areas, and gray areas are the ones where it's outside of the requirements. It's worse than it's supposed to be, and I would say roughly 10 to 15% of the area is gray here, meaning that the network is not perfect, but it's still performing okay for the most of the users. Now, here I have a second example of the exactly same plan, exactly same floor, exactly same network. Nothing has changed except the survey device. So this survey has been conducted by using a different device. And as you can see here, then the results are dramatically different. You can see that actually 40%, almost 50% of the area is gray. So obviously, according to this survey, most of the users in these areas would be suffering, would be using actually very, very bad network. And here, to make it a bit more confusing, here's a result from survey number 3. Again, same floor, same network, but using a different measurement device. And this time it shows that the reception is perfect in almost all of the locations, 99.5%. Everything is green, all the users are happy. Now, there are literally hundreds of Android devices out there, and most of them, if not all of them, have different antennas and different RF capabilities. So some of them have better reception, some of them have worse reception. And depending on what kind of device you actually use, you will get different results. So in this particular scenario, where would you base, or which survey you would use as a basis for your next actions? So would you decide to do nothing, or would you actually decide to redesign the entire network, or would it be sufficient to add just few access points or increase the transmission power? That's a tough call. I mean, who knows? Only one of them is correct. And that's the reason why we are using, we are not using the device itself. We are using Sidekick for that. So Ekahau Sidekick is the most accurate measurement, Wi-Fi measurement device out there in the market. And this we can say with the high confidence because we have been testing it in various conditions, and we have been testing it in several RF labs. It's highly accurate, and it produces constant results. So the device itself, in case you haven't seen it, is a portable device you can carry with you. It contains 2 Wi-Fi radios that allows you to survey both bands at the same time. It contains 7 omnidirectional antennas on different locations of the device, so that it can scan from all different areas, from different directions, and it supports the packet capture as well. Now, you connect it to your device by using a cable, and with the Android device, you use a cable, an extension called OTG cable, on-the-go cable, that you plug to between your device and your phone. Sorry, between the Sidekick and your phone. Now, because of this simple plug and play, and because of the multiple antennas and radios, the Sidekick can actually survey much faster than other devices, and it has an 8-hour battery life, so you can easily survey a day with the device. And the value that it brings is that it actually cuts the time spent on site by 50%, simply because it's so much faster and easier to use. And that's why we've decided that that's the only measurement device we'll support with the Analyzer app. Okay, so I actually have a request to you as well. We are currently running the beta program, so we are testing the Analyzer. We are not ready to launch it yet, although we're probably going to launch it pretty soon. It's looking good. But we are also looking for early adopters or interested engineers to join the beta program. So if you have a Sidekick and you have an Android phone, and you think you can find an OTG cable, those are actually easily available. Any electronic store sells them. They are about $10 or less than 10 euros. If you have these and you would be interested in seeing how it works in real life, please contact either Jade, whose email address is here. So jade.paukkunen, that's a tough Finnish name. Sorry about that, but maybe you can take a photograph of the screen, or you can contact myself as well. Just drop me an email, or you can contact any of your Ekahau contacts just to let them know that you would be interested, and they will direct you to the right person. Hope to see many of you there. I think it's very interesting, and by the way, we'll also for the brave testers who volunteer, we also provide goodies at the end of the beta test, so it will make your time worth it. Okay, moving on to the next topic. So going back to the life cycle of Wi-Fi. So actually during this process, a large amount of information is being collected from the network, from the design, from the validation, from the optimization, and from the troubleshooting phase. And obviously this information is fully leveraged and utilized in these tools or in the products that we are using in each of these stages. But they also contain a lot of intelligence that could be utilized even further. So for example, network design contains the requirements how the network is supposed to work, and then a validation survey provides the information to how it works in real life. And this information could be actually automatically analyzed further to provide more insights to the data. And that's the second update I'm going to talk about today. So there's been increasing demand for central analytics solution, and that's the new product we are talking about. So for this, we are also reaching the beta testing stage, but we are not ready we are not launching it commercially yet. So again, this is among us friends here, but this is coming in the near future. So basically, we are building an analytics solution which is focusing on analyzing the performance and the design quality of the network. And this is fundamentally different to any Wi-Fi monitoring or analytics solution in the market today. So typically a network monitoring solution, for example, like for example, Cisco DNA Center or Misto, Aruba, they have one as well. It typically looks at the network inside out. So it's fully connected to the access points and the infrastructure beyond that, and it's basically designed to make sure it's up and running 24/7. But it doesn't actually know how end users are experiencing the service out in the premises. So what we do is that we have a unique view into this data. We can actually see the network quality and the performance as the end users and clients see it. And because of the data that we discussed earlier, that we have network design and requirement information coming from the pro, we have the site survey measurements coming from the survey app, and we have the data, troubleshooting data coming from the analyzer app. It helps us to form a picture on how the network is performing, and then drive quality metrics out of it, but also provide important troubleshooting information. So an obvious use case, of course, in all of this is the consolidation of the data. So first of all, especially to large network owners or system integrators who are working with multiple clients, now we will offer a solution that will help you to combine all of your data into a single repository. You can easily access all of that. It's visualized with easy to use dashboards, and you can easily create reports out of it, and you can share it effectively to your users or to your clients or to your management simply by clicking a button. And then this works automatically on all of the data which is shared in the Ekahau cloud between the applications. Now let's talk a little bit more about some of the use cases that we are automating here. So one of them is Wi-Fi quality analysis. So today, typically how the quality analysis is being done, it's a manual job to collect, for example, survey data. So especially when you have a large network, it's a lot of work to collect the survey data manually across hundreds of buildings and then build reporting out of it. So now with the central analytics solutions, analytics solution, we can easily actually do that, automate that job. So collect all of that data together, determine the quality of the Wi-Fi, and perform, create indicators out of it, perform comparisons and benchmarking. And like I said, how this differs from existing network management system is that now we are looking this and measuring this from the end user point of view. And then the results are being presented in an easy to use manner. So for example, a Wi-Fi score is a good example that we will produce Wi-Fi scores, which will indicate clearly that there is something wrong either with the design or with the implementation of the network. And then when you see all of this data consolidated, obviously we bring out findings and issues automatically and display it to the end users. display those to the end users. So that's one of the obvious use cases that we are implementing. Now, the second one would be then the troubleshooting support. So this is again one of the most requested features already for quite some time. So you know, the survey, for example, a site survey contains a lot of data, and assuming that especially when you are doing this for multiple networks, or you have a large enterprise network to manage by yourself, there's a lot of data, and nobody has the time and the energy to go through every single heat map that is being produced out of the survey data. Now we can, with the analytics, we can automate that process. So in a similar manner that we do the quality analysis, we can indicate on a high level the issues that any network engineer or network administrator should pay attention. We can highlight the issues, for example, paint them red, making it easy to spot, especially the areas that need the attention. We can show, in addition to issues, we can also find out discrepancies. So for example, when there are systematic failures in the network, for example, in the commissioning or in the installation. So it doesn't have to be necessarily related to only to the measurements. One really interesting addition to this is the analyzer data. So as you know, and as we discussed before, the analyzer is basically running an auto test. When you plug it in, it's running auto test constantly against the preset requirements. So all of these results can be also uploaded to the network. So whenever you have problematic locations, all you need to do is have your analyzer data running. You start auto testing it, and the results will be uploaded to our analytics solution, helping them then, for example, the IT team or the Wi-Fi team to find the issue and find the root cause for that. And that brings us to the fourth point, which is then the technical details. So just showing the data and the issues is actually a pain increasing factor, so that you know that there's something wrong with your network, but you don't know what it is and how to fix it. And that's why we've added a wide array of technical details into the analytics. So in addition to highlighting the issues and in addition to pinpointing the problematic areas, we also display the technical details. So for example, the individual heat maps for all audible SSIDs are presented, so that the issue that is being found can be also diagnosed and correctly addressed by using the same solution. So to put it in a nutshell, what would be the reason to develop and deploy such a solution? It basically helps you to get visibility into your Wi-Fi network design and end user quality. And that itself saves time and money. Provides you the visibility like we discussed, collects and organizes all of your data. No more manual processing of the data, no more manual creating of Excels and PowerPoints of the data. The tool will do that for you. And whenever there are issues, first of all, the solution will help you to discover any discrepancies beforehand and act already before the issues become major issues. But in case you get complaints, it also helps understanding what's going on and how to fix it. So that's the value proposition in short, and that's the product we are going to announce in the near future. And again, this is not an official product launch, but we'll come back to this later. And those were the updates I was planning to talk about today. So if you have further questions, Sam, I think we have 1 more minute left on the.
You do. You've got plenty of time to answer some questions, I'm sure.
Or we can do that a bit later on, like you mentioned. There's going to be a break. I'll be online and we can talk more then.
Yes, I was going to say we've got Timo, who's joined as a panelist, so he's going to be answering some questions via the chat, and then we also in the first break time, as Anssi just said, he's going to be joining us again to answer some questions. So I think we'll do one quick question now, and then we'll follow up with the rest of those in the first break, if that's okay. Let me just see what questions we've had in. So a question here is Ekahau working on adding RF signal reflections into Pro? I think that was a question about an upcoming feature.
Yes, I don't know how much I don't know how much I can reveal now, but yes, the short answer is yes, we are.
Okay. As that was a really short answer, let's go for one more. What's the plan with the Sidekick with the introduction of Wi-Fi 6E?
Well, the Wi-Fi supports already Wi-Fi 6, as you know. We can see the beacons with the Sidekick, and later on with the 6 gigahertz, obviously we need to upgrade the product.
Okay, I think we'll have to leave questions there. Like I said, we'll come back to those in the break time. Thanks very much, Anssi.
Okay, thank you.